Welcome, collective, to Timeless Energy. I'm Barbara. Welcome back to my regular collective members, my subscribers. Welcome back. We have the wind blowing, or the fan blowing, and I didn't turn it off. I'm going to try to get a little bitty read in here, kind of right in the middle of a half a dozen other things, and we are right on top of a full moon in Aries. Now, I have Aries in 2 of my 12 planets, and I know I've tried to explain this to people before. The energy of a full moon. Look in your natal chart. See what houses you might have that particular planet in. That indicates which house you might have being affected by the full moon energy. If you have that particular zodiac or planet in your natal chart. In some cases you don't. Okay, this is entertainment purpose only. If it does not resonate, please do not make it fit. Watch out for scammers in the comment section. First of all, I just repaired my computer. Okay, my donations, and I was going to change this. Any donations that you're sending to my old email address, I cannot get those transferred. Because I had a problem with my computer and my passwords, and I had to restart everything. Okay, kind of long story. We're not going to go into the details, but I had to make a new email address, which can be found in the description box of this video when it's posted. You are always free to look at my old Timeless Energy videos, and you will find in the description box of those videos that my old email address will be listed. I've got so many of them, I cannot change this. So there is a new email address. Please verify that you're using the correct email address if you're going to send a donation. I do not do personal readings at this time. I am in the process of moving, so I will not be doing private readings of any kind for anyone. My apologies. Nothing to take personally. But the scammers in the comment section, this is my disclaimer. It's not me. Okay, so if anybody's reaching out, trying to tell you that they're going to offer you a private read, and they're trying to say that it's me, it's not me. Okay. I do thank you very much for liking, and by the way, please press that subscribe button. Please press that like button. We are trying very, very hard to build our channel. And we just had an entire month where I couldn't put any content out at all because my computer wasn't working the way it was supposed to be working. And I am still fixing some of that stuff. Okay. Any donations, like I said, will go to Harmony. What is it? Harmony 090662@gmail.com. And it is posted in the link when I upload this video. Okay. Today we're using our regular Rider-Waite, the old deck. And I am going to add the Citadel. Let me adjust this. The Citadel, which is a fantasy oracle. I do like these. I have to read the book when I pull these cards. But that's okay, because you guys can bear with me. Okay, sorry. Oh. We are right in front of the Aries full moon. Okay. I will also be using the Runes Oracle. Let's not make it as complicated. I will be pulling 3 of the Citadel, 1 for each of my 3 cards, because you know already that I do a 3-card read. But I will only be pulling 1 of these cards, the Runes Oracle, which I really, really like, but we don't want to go too far overboard here. Okay, let's see what we have. Alright, first of all, and I've already smudged everything, that's why the fan is working. So we're going to pull 3 cards. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. And ask for protection for Archangel Michael. Protection, Archangel Michael. And guidance for today's timeless energy reading. Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. I have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Ask for protection. Ask for protection and guidance. And that tossed right out, flew right out. The 2 of Pentacles was the jumper. Okay, 1 more card. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. 1 more card for today's timeless energy. 1 more card for today's timeless energy message of today. Spirit, guide me. Spirit, guide me. And in reverse, we have the 6 of Wands. Yeah. We had a jumper. And we're just lucky that didn't fly on the floor, because to tell you the truth, today is not the day that I wanted to spend reaching over. But the 2 of Pentacles is our jumper. The juggling card. Okay, where are we here? Where do I start? Where do I start? Okay. Alright, the Knight of Pentacles was the heart chakra, and the 6 of Wands is the heart chakra. The 2 of Pentacles is the 3rd eye, which is one of my favorites. But I do get the heart more, and the Pentacles here. The heart. So the 3rd eye, intuitive between the heart. Okay, so this should be interesting. The Knight of Pentacles is a Capricorn energy. It's an earth-grounded energy, but it is Cap and a Saturn energy. Now, I like Saturn. I like Saturn because I found out with me in particular that Saturn tends to bring me luck. I don't know why, but it does. It varies depending on, what's in your natal chart, kind of. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest. It moves the slowest. Kind of like, Uranus? That is the slowest that moves around, which is a generational kind of thing. The Knight of Pentacles can be considered very, very slow. It does not rush. Whatever job. Now, in a relationship with money, yes, definitely, because it's a pentacle. The thing with the Knight is it doesn't rush. It's dependable. So, and was that actually just described a Capricorn person? Didn't I just describe, do you know any Capricorn people? They're not in a really big hurry. They don't rush, but they're very dependable. They're loyal in most cases. Unless they're distorted in some way, or you get them on a bad day. But if you're talking about a person, and I'm not, I try to stick to energies, but connected with money or finances, the Knight of Pentacles tends to set aside, save, be more cautious of. Well, this is not necessarily the youth. So we're guessing there might be a reason for, this caution. It's also a good omen, actually, in a situation, the Knight of Pentacles. It's the long game. And I think that that's why it's viewed as a good omen card. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the long game. If you're dealing with this energy, you're dealing with a situation where, it's not in and out really, really fast. It is working towards something in a long-term situation. And that is the energy that we are looking at with this. Now, with the Saturn connected to the Knight of Pentacles, there are, in some cases, limitations. This is a ruler of fate energy, and when it shows up, this is a long-term work, slowly, cautiously, carefully, towards the future, whatever goal it is, take it as it applies. But it is a fated energy. I'm not saying that this is a fated energy because the Knight of Pentacles, your knight in shining armor, walked into your life and just changed everything. No, we're not talking romance. I'm not working on any kind of romance here. We are talking about the real world of being able to depend on whatever situation that you're in. If you're dealing with the Knight of Pentacles energy, and you do not necessarily have to be dealing with a Capricorn. You could be dealing with somebody who has Capricorn in their natal chart. You could be dealing with a period of time in the course of the next 12 months that has Capricorn highly aspected. Okay, so kind of open-ended there, all right? But this is a long-term, slow, moving forward, committed type of energy. And you can trust it. If the energy if you're included in whatever it is. I mean, it's not like you can jump on the boat right before they reach the destination. If you're at the beginning of, whatever, and you're tied into this path, you can trust it. Yeah. The Two of Pentacles is also Capricorn. But you know what? Capricorn with Mars. Now, Mars is your die for the cause and your aggressive energy. And some people think that is connected to war. It is not necessarily just connected to war. I do believe that I heard somebody talking about Aries full moon and some of the other planets that were aligned with it that did denote some type of Mars-like or fighting, kind of up in the air, we don't know what's going to happen type of energy. But Mars is not necessarily fighting. You can always avoid a fight. If you know how to communicate, you can work things out without really having a really big argument or a problem. But with some things, faded energy from the Saturn here spilling over into what? We are juggling, we are aggressive, we are going to get this done. This is physical energy, this is strong. Okay, but we are juggling a lot. Now, the Capricorn energy is still in here. And that moves forward slowly. Hopefully that this energy is communicating that the Capricorn energy in here is denoting the moving slowly forward is the part of the real world where you're having conversations about the decisions before you actually put them in place. Checking and verifying things so that there are no mistakes and things are not overlooked and everything is basically planned. And well, a smart and cautious person would do this anyways. But you've got Capricorn, you've got Saturn, which is your wisdom. It is your fate, but it is your wisdom to be wise, okay? And then you have juggling. You've got a lot you're juggling. And this is the big thing with this one here. You've got a lot that you're juggling. Surely, the Two of Pentacles has more to offer than a lot to juggle. Again, at Pentacles, it can symbolize bank balances. So we are focusing on money. But this is definitely the multitasker. And it is definitely the overwhelmed. So much is on your plate energy. There is no mistaking that. You might be asking yourself, how in the world are you going to handle all of these deadlines? How in the world are you going to handle all of these burdens or deadlines or things that are on your plate? But you're coupled with the Capricorn energy. And the way I'm looking at this, even though you're juggling a lot, the Capricorn doesn't move fast. So the wisdom in this energy from Saturn would be that you have taken the thought into planning, that you have taken one step at a time, that you have not bunched everything that's on your plate all up at one time. Procrastinators are seriously famous for that. Well, I'll get it done on Friday. And you say, I'm going to get this done on Friday. But you do that 7 days in a row and everything is due on Monday. And you have left all of it to wait till Friday. You're going to have a problem. With this energy, that's not going to happen. This is very slow, steady, forward, meticulous, Capricorn, hardworking. Even if you're juggling a lot. Even if you should be very overwhelmed. With the Mars being aggressive, that does not mean fighting. That does not necessarily automatically, news of war. That means that you're being aggressive, that you're going to get it done, whether it kills you. On a personal level, okay, the energy is, okay, you're going to get it done. You're going to be aggressive about it. You're going to shut your door and tell everybody else around you to leave you alone because you are working on something and this is important. Go do something. But especially if you have a deadline. But in this case, the juggling, you have not bunched all this up at one time. Because of the Capricorn energy that I'm looking at, you have been moving forward slowly, getting one thing done at a time, having the conversations instead of the arguments, working out the details until you find the right solution that fits into whatever it is that you are trying to solve. And there's no fighting. Now, the energy that I'm looking at while I'm making this read is that the government is shutting down, and that's what's in the news. And we all know that seems to be a regular thing. Okay. It does make you kind of wonder sometimes, and we'll give like a little empathy in the direction of all of the poor people in the country right now that are looking at the loss of income and what they're facing. They have always put a solution in place. Sometimes at the very last minute, they have always put a solution in place. Sometimes not the best solution. It probably would have been better not to actually go to that point and have their job done the way it was supposed to. But I do kind of get a picture sometimes that in that particular situation, it might not be as easy to get things done in Washington or in the government as we think that it would be. I mean, a little bit of common sense. The one thing they don't teach in college, okay? But you have to be a college student to actually get a job up there in Washington. Okay. So nothing got accomplished, and we're looking at government shutdowns. And we are looking at juggling. So we could picture everybody up there in Washington juggling and trying to make sure that at this point that they're not dropping the ball, because you know what? People are not happy right now, and they're not happy. Okay. And then we go to the Six of Wands in reverse. Now, did I actually say that the Knight of Pentacles was a heart energy and that the Six of Wands was a heart energy? So this moving forward on whatever you're working for is probably centered on something that's very close to your heart. And this Six of Wands energy, regardless of what else is connected to it, is probably centered on something that's close to your heart. This is not necessarily a relationship. The Six of Wands is a Leo fire energy, and it's an extrovert. But we're in reverse. And that is going to change everything. Because, see, you're juggling. You're moving forward slowly. You're trying to get things done. You're juggling. You have a massive amount of things on your plate. And the Six of Wands basically could be failure. Now, I wouldn't jump like right off the ship here at this point, because it doesn't necessarily have to mean failure. We'll look at it from a different point of view. You're juggling a lot. You're moving forward. If you're in a situation where you're famous for whatever you do, this Six of Wands energy could be the downside of being famous. That you're juggling, you're doing a lot, you're moving forward, you're planning carefully, but maybe you're in the spotlight. And this could also be a politician, by the way, just to add what I've already mentioned here. The downside of being well known or famous. And it could fit in any category. That means that, what is the downside of being famous, by the way? Because I don't think that I could possibly exist living underneath a microscope like some of these people do. Having everything they do, every place they go, every word they say, everything recorded, everything plastered, all over social media. Okay, this is the downside of being famous. Now, another thing that I'm looking at the Six of Wands, because the positive, people really want to know if something's going to work in their favor. And if it's in reverse, that denotes the energy of whatever it is might not be working in their favor. Depending on where you're standing here. Okay. Now, the thing is, this is also success without working for it. And I'm not going to go into detail because that could cover a lot of things. The downside of being well known for something and then having somebody say, yeah, but they didn't earn it. They didn't earn that. They didn't do anything to work for any of that. That is the downside of the Six of Wands. Well, as you go on to the YouTube, I watch YouTube all the time. Don't you love that stuff? They have the cutest little things on there. And you have these little like dance step things where one person does it and then it goes like, everybody's crazy. They all try to mimic these dance steps and everybody has to do their little thing. And I just love the competitive edge of letting everybody, no matter what walk of life, to try this competitive thing that somebody has demonstrated. Okay, that's wonderful. I love those things. Okay, and you know what? You could get recognized for some of that stuff. I don't know how far that takes you in that industry because I'm not familiar with, that industry personally. But the thing about it is gossip and things like that. This could be successful at something that you didn't actually work at. And this could be something that brings you down. You're juggling a lot. People don't see that. People don't see that. You've got the fire energy here of dignified, which means that your ego, your reputation, and everything about what you're trying to do is very, very important to you. And you're juggling a lot of stuff that many people are not aware of, actually, to tell you the truth, probably too much. And this energy of hard work and moving forward and, checking all those boxes and all of that energy there. With the Saturn, and this is fated. So whatever you're doing could be a fated situation. Maybe you were born into it. You didn't have a choice. In some cases, if it's one of these situations where you're famous, maybe you did work for it, okay, to a certain extent, but maybe you were more talented. You did put in the work. You did do the juggling. You were more, you were born into it. Not everybody is born into having talent. Okay, so juggling. Whatever it is that you had that landed on your plate. Juggling way too much. Juggling. With the Mars, which is not fighting, it is being aggressive. Die for the cause. You're going to get this done. And then you run into this. And I do not want to focus on this being failure. Because nobody that works that hard should come up in the end out of pocket and a complete failure. Not if they do all of this juggling and all of this work. What you want with the Six of Wands in reverse is that you might be dealing with somebody who is a little bit on the ego side, maybe dealing with a situation where the downside of, hey, you've reached that famous part where you're well known, and now you're learning that, hey, this isn't such a great deal because, now I have to deal with this, and now I have to deal with this. And, before I could run around wearing whatever I wanted to, but now people are starting to get to know me, and I got to be more careful, and I got to spend more money on my hair, and I got to, dress better, and I have to remember, that, by the way, includes how selective you are with the people that you have around you. Boom. The downside. It also can include the place that you're selecting to live. You get to a certain point where people are recognizing you for whatever it is that you're doing. You can no longer live in the place where you've been because it's not respectable enough for your station. And then you have to fix that. It could be a number of things. Now, what we're going to do here, and I have to read the book on this, Citadel. I love these cards. Actually, these are the prettiest cards I think that I've ever gotten. I do not have these memorized. They are not normal Rider Waite. I will be pulling one of these cards for each and every one of these 3 that I have already got on the table. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Clarify this message for today's timeless energy. And see what direction we need to go with this message. Spirit guide me. The Knight of Pentacles got the Tailor. Let's scoot this down so that I can see both. Now we do remember that both of these pentacles here are earth sign energy. No, fire sign energy. The Knight of Pentacles is an earth sign energy. And the Two of Pentacles. Yes, earth sign energy. Sorry, I had to check that. I wasn't sure. Now again, with the Pentacles. Reliable. This could be, and I don't like this when readers bring this up, because this could be unexpected sources of money or income. And that is something that I hadn't actually mentioned, because honestly, to tell you the truth, I used to listen to tarot a lot before I tried actually doing it myself. And I always look forward to that particular statement coming true. And to be quite honest with you, it didn't. Let's see what the Tailor has to say. Let's change my email address so donations can reach me. But to be quite honest with you, my channel is small. It's a thick book, bear with me. The Tailor. Now remember that the Knight of Pentacles is a Capricorn and Saturn energy. The store is dark, the walls lined with endless boxes in that house, a wealth of beautiful dresses and suits. At the back of the store, lit by a single lantern, a half-finished robe is stretched across a frame. Hunched before the magnificent garment, the tailor labors at this work of love, nimble fingers embroidering a spell-binding design into the silk. It is this passion and dedication that has made them so successful, but from the tremble in their fingers, it seems as though it won't be long before overexertion catches up with them. Your dedication to your passions has served you well, and you're finally starting to reap the benefits of your hard work. Allow yourself to stop and take pride in what you've done, rather than throwing yourself headfirst at the next thing. It is important to acknowledge your achievements in order to understand the depths of your own abilities. And didn't I say that the Capricorn energy is moving forward slowly? A hard worker. I always tried to compare it to the goat climbing up the hill. I know people are probably tired of me saying that. We are talking about long-term goals, and what this here is saying is that this work that you do, that you have been dedicated. You have been single-minded in whatever it is that you're building, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that goal you see, that you visualize in your head. You have been dedicated and you have worked tirelessly. Okay? Before you jump off to the next thing, because we got the juggler here, and don't forget the juggler, and try to put too much on your plate. You need to take a look at, where you're at and what you have accomplished and appreciate that part first. Okay, because the next energy we're moving into is the juggling of, and that could be a little overwhelming. So let's see what the juggler has to say. A clarifying card, Spirit. A clarifying card for the juggler, please. A clarifying card for the juggler, Spirit. A clarifying card for the juggler, please. A clarifying card. Right there. In reverse. It is the orator, which is communication and confidence. But it is in reverse. Didn't I say, this is attention to detail, right? Didn't I say, juggling? What did I say? No fighting with Mars? I said no fighting with Mars. I said communicate. Work those problems out. No fighting with Mars. We've got Mars floating around somewhere up there with our full moon. What a much better day if you actually try to use the skill of communication. Now, it is in reverse. Okay, so you're juggling a lot with the Two of Pentacles, and the reversed, it says someone, perhaps even you, is saying things that aren't necessarily true. Their words are what they think others want to hear. Though there can be a kindness in white lies, you'll quickly become tangled in a net of your own making. Honesty is the best policy, and if you choose your words well, a hard truth doesn't have to be difficult to hear. Oh, do I have something to say about that paragraph? I hear a lot of readers bringing up, well, not only readers, but there seems to be a lot of mention, especially like really overwhelming when I watch other things or absorb other energies, which eventually have to shut it down to a certain extent. Communication can be helpful. Communication can have the opposite effect. What I picked up on recently, and this isn't part of the read, it was just personal, was communication being done behind the back of another person, and not in a nice way. Okay. And this is not what the read is saying. Okay. With the Two of Pentacles, your schedule's fuller than usual. Okay. And it focuses on Pentacles. So you might be dealing with accounts. Or you might be dealing with work to earn money. You might be multitasking. There are any number of things. And, you are feeling burdened. That is the Two of Pentacles. But the Two of Pentacles doesn't actually say anything about communication in its energy. The thing about this orator in reverse, and I did say, if you're juggling a lot, instead of fighting over it, find a way to communicate that, you know what I mean? You've already got the Capricorn energy. You're already spacing things and working things along as best that you can. And this is Pentacles energy. So you're dealing with the money. And if you're working on things, you're probably spending money as best as you can to get these things done. Okay. Whatever the situation that you're in, this energy with Mars basically says, I'm going to get that done, irregardless if it kills me. Okay. But you're juggling a lot. If you're in a partnership or you're in a group thing, okay. And you're overwhelming yourself. Maybe not everybody in the group is overwhelming themselves, but you're definitely overwhelming yourself. There could be a little bit of need to communicate. This order card basically says that there's an energy in your environment while you're busy juggling things that might be verbally saying things that are not really true. This could be about the situation. Maybe they are giving you misinformation about the facts of what you're really dealing with. So that will come to the verify, check and verify. This could be somebody selling you something up the river. They're not being completely honest, full disclosure, whatever. You know what, we're going through a process of moving, and that has a lot to do with full disclosure and whatever. Okay, this could be the energy of saying what you think others want to hear. This is not necessarily saying things that are not true. Like not being like a complete liar. They're saying, yeah, this is what we're doing here. But then you don't follow through. It's not finished. It didn't pan out. Whatever. And you work on it a little more later. Whatever. You're going to be finished with that. Yeah. But then you go out and it didn't get done either. Trying to be kind to somebody by telling them something that's not true isn't being kind. You give somebody the opportunity of being around a situation long enough, they can figure it out on their own. And trust me, even if they're not 100% accurate, your body language will tell you straight up that there's something that you're not telling them and their feelings are going to get hurt. We are not advocating that you need to be completely honest with somebody. Even if the oracle says that you should, hey, be honest. Okay, no, we are not advocating being completely honest with. There are just some things that personally you probably do want to keep to yourself. But you don't want to be mean, and you're not being kind by being completely honest. I do not believe in that. Honesty is the best policy. But my theory when dealing with strangers has always been to assume otherwise. This oracle card here says that the energy that you're dealing with is somebody who's not necessarily being honest. Think about it. In your lifetime, there has probably already been a situation where you have omitted certain things so that you don't have to hurt another person. What happens later on when they figure out what was really going on? But we all have free will and we all have choices. And in this, it has to do with money. It has to be doing with the juggling of many different things, many different goals. In some cases, it could be many different bank accounts. Many different somethings. You're juggling. You've got overwhelmed juggling. Trying to get this done. Trying to get that done. Trying to pay this. Trying to get to that class. Trying to get to that job. Trying to raise what you need by earning it. Okay. This energy here is saying that somebody is not being completely honest about the choices that are being made and why. And that's okay. That's okay, because in the real world, there are some situations where that is actually something that's going to happen. Now with the Six of Wands, moving on here, the heart chakra. Because, oh, by the way, this is the third chakra position. Your intuitive ability. And what is it about your intuitive ability? If you pick up on something and you trust your instinct, you're probably right. Well, never assume that you automatically are right. But you know what? If you trust your gut instinct, you probably are right. I wouldn't make any assumptions, absolutely make any plans, decisions, or change anything until you find out a little more about what the real facts are. But in this case here, it says even if somebody tells you what the facts are, they're probably not being completely honest. Moving on. Six of Wands. Unless I knew this wasn't a love reading. And this is the heart chakra again. Something that's very close to your heart. We have the Leo energy, proud, dignified. The fire energy, arrogant. The Six of Wands. In reverse, we're talking about the downside. Like I said, if you're famous, you're reaching your goal, you're getting well known. It doesn't have to be an actress or an actor or a singer. It has to be getting well known for whatever it is that you are good at, whatever you've worked on, whatever you've achieved. This card is the downside of what you're dealing with. Okay. Now with this juggling thing, and it is pentacles, if this is about money, this could be being successful or having money without working for it. This is in reverse. I refuse to focus on the fact that this could be failure. Because you know what? I believe that the energy from the Knight of Pentacles, which is ruling your fate, and I believe that the energy from the Two of Pentacles, which is very aggressive, die for the cause, I'm going to do this if it kills me, that this card does not have anything to do with being a failure. It might have something to do with somebody who's communicated something unfairly. I've heard other readers say this, and you know what? You really can't get into specifics on something that is hypothetical. Take it if it resonates, and do not make it your own if it doesn't. There are always situations where somebody has something to say, no matter what. Well, this is something where you might have somebody saying, yeah, well, they're not seeing the juggling, they're not seeing how hard you've worked for whatever it is that you're doing. All they're seeing is that you didn't work for it. It landed in your lap. In that kind of situation, and somebody's having a conversation about in that way, they might treat you differently. It's one thing if you earn, like everybody else does, the money that you need for everything that you do. And people have more respect for you. You know what else they also don't do when that happens? They don't take advantage of you. In this situation, we are having communication with somebody that might possibly be successful at something, and in this case, in financial situations. But they didn't work for it. And this is a situation where somebody might be communicating, but they didn't work for it. This is the type of energy where somebody might be taking advantage of that because they want something too. You didn't work for it. And I'm really, really close to you. I'm going to jump right on that bandwagon and I'm going to ask you for help. And you know what? I probably won't pay you back, but you've got so much and you really didn't earn it. Somebody's talking, and this in reverse has nothing to do with failure, because I see that whoever it is that we're dealing with, this energy, that they work hard for everything that they've achieved. And it might be one person, and it might be two people, and it might be a group of people that work together, like a club or a company, a small company, an upstart, whatever. The thing about it is the downside of being successful. Having somebody communicate. They didn't work for it. They didn't work for it. They really didn't earn it. Because people do not see what it took for you to achieve certain things. And they don't need to know. So let's get an orator. Let's get a card for the Six of Wands and see how this clarifies this Six of Wands in reverse. The idea of what it means for the Six of Wands. I have the Painter, productivity and creation, and it's in reverse. Okay, Wands, the Painter in reverse. Doubt in your skills is stopping you from reaching true potential and manifesting your plans. Now, if you're working on something and you know you've worked really hard on it and you're working hard on it and you have, you know what, you believe in what you're doing, doubt in your skills is probably coming from a third party who is saying something negative about what you're working on. Either they don't believe in it or they have doubts in your skill level. Whatever it is you're telling yourself you don't have the talent to achieve right now, stop and think. What are the risks of just going for it? Are your fears truly grounded in reality, or are you creating your own roadblocks? I know that the Painter card is talking about the doubt that's coming from you, which means me. If I'm doubting, or if I am the creator, that's what that means. The only problem with that is that it might not be me who's doubting. It might be somebody else in the third party right here who is verbally saying things that cast doubt. Well, we all need a support, okay? Well, you've got somebody who's worked really, really hard and made sacrifices and have done whatever it is that they could do to learn everything it is that they could learn about whatever it is that they are spending their entire day working on. And then you have the ill will energy of somebody casting doubt on your level of skill, on your ability or your knowledge level, or how you choose to do things. How you choose to do things. Now, the 6 is a Leo, it's a fire energy. So we're talking about dignified energy down here. We're talking about somebody who is really connected to having an ego about what they're doing. Okay? So there might be a little bit of hard work, but there's also a little bit of pride, personal pride, in what you're working towards, what you've been... maybe you haven't reached your goal. Maybe you're still learning. Okay? But you have a certain amount of pride. You are connected to the Leo energy of ego. And the thing is with the Jupiter connected and the heart. This is something that's very close to your heart. And with the Jupiter, you are talking philanthropists, you are talking positive energy, that you are so sure that, irregardless, do you really need that energy thrown on you of somebody casting doubt? Do you really need that? And that's not really a friend. And you know what? That person that's casting doubt on what you're doing, they're not going to actually come up into your face and tell you, you know what? I seriously don't think that you're going to look good in that dress, because you know what? You really need to lose a few pounds. And, but you go ahead and get that for that special occasion, They're not willing to tell you the truth because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But they're willing to go behind your back and cast doubts on what you've worked for, or what you're trying to achieve. They said they read whatever it is. They said they looked, whatever you painted. They said they looked at that place where you work. And they have absolutely no idea how much energy it took for you to drag yourself out of bed and go to that retail store and work for 8 hours and then go to class and work right alongside these other people that have total freedom, or maybe have jobs that are more in line with whatever they're working to reach in career-wise, and you're working somewhere totally different, and you've got somebody casting doubts on that energy. Your true potential, you manifesting and being positive. And being positive is a big thing there, right? That's your Jupiter energy. You need to be positive if you're going to be successful. You need to stay positive if you're going to be successful. You've got somebody, a third party, behind your back casting doubts on your ability. Or there are some cases where you are casting your own doubts on your own abilities, or maybe you're not putting the work. In this reading, this energy says the work is being put in. But maybe you're uncertain and you have blocked yourself from taking the steps that would actually make you truly recognized for whatever it is. And this is something connected to the heart. Maybe you are putting blocks up there because that limelight is scary. But what I see here, sticking out here, is that there's a third party. No matter how hard you've worked, or no matter how much you love what you're doing, there is somebody who is verbally saying things that are not nice. And they're not being said to you. They're being said to other people behind your back. This could mean everything to somebody who is in social media. This could mean everything to someone who is in the public eye in any way. And this is the message that I'm looking at. The downside of reaching a point where whatever it is that you are creating is actually being seen. I try to keep in mind there is no right and wrong. You know what I mean? Everybody out there seems like a sheep. They all do it the same way. Here is your rune card. I don't do it the same way. Not as everybody else. Berkana. The birch tree and the beginning. Rune of birth, sexuality, and renewal. It is the mother of all runes, and it contains the mystery of creation. And isn't this about what you're creating? I do hope that everybody who joined me today enjoys this video. There are other videos, and they are timeless videos, and you are free to go through and check out any of the videos I have made previous. Do keep in mind that my first email link is currently not working. The email for donations starts with the word harmony. That is the link that you can send donations. And I actually don't even know how to use that PayPal. I actually probably should pay a little more attention to the real world and figure out all that kind of stuff. Besides checking out some of my older videos, I always break down the videos that I make after they've been uploaded into shorts. I do notice that they seem to get more views. The short little, like a minute clip or whatever, off of something that took me an hour. And they do link you back to the original as well, from what, you know what I mean? You can always look at the short and go, oh wow, and then go back into the original and watch the full video if you want. But that is the way I'm working this. This is Barbara. I really appreciate, seriously, press that like button. Press that subscribe button. I need all the subscribers that I can get to help me build my channel. And thank you very much for spending your time with me today.